welcome to Coffee. It's brought to you by a bunch of weirdos.
Oh, yeah. We hope you like chaos. With our friends.
It's our only promise.
And our friend's fur baby.
Oh, yeah. We might do things that are listed here. We may not.
I'm crocheting.
I mean, that is on the list.
I'm planning to write because I gotta finish the story, y'all.
I should.
I should too. I'm working on this post. It's almost done.
Special thanks, Charlie, for the music.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I? Okay. Did I do that right this time? Well, I could see you, so you know what? It helps. Fudge! Restream. Why are you trolling moi? Do I not deserve more love and respect?
Obsidian.
Oh, Obsidian, yes. Obsessed with it. I use it as well.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I should probably...
You're late to the game. No.
I know, me too. I'm late to the game. I'll get there eventually, y'all. It's like, also, when I come visit you, I'm going to install bidets in all your homes. And then I will ruin you for, like, even travel, because then you won't even want to go to hotels without bidets in them. It will ruin you for international travel. It's like, y'all, I'm only going to Asia and Europe where they actually have bidets. You know, like, yeah, there.
You're welcome, Tom. And the icon is like a gem situation.
Yeah, it's a purple gem. It's Obsidian MD. So if that confuses, like, that confused me at first because I didn't know the MD was at the end of it.
For the website, yeah. I think. Yeah. It's Obsidian MD.
Yay, time for the monthly login to my own Twitch account.
Hi, CB.
On the YouTube sides, which I don't have open. I don't have it open. YouTube.
Tube of you.
And I need to switch to.
Oh.
I responded to that question. That comment, didn't I?
Did not.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
So I was talking with my BFF today, and she was like, when you have spoons, you totally need to write your representative about how the shortage of ADHD meds affected you so that maybe they can do something about it. And I'm like, oh, why do you have to have such good ideas?
Great idea. And a very adult idea.
Yeah. Because going without it for a whole month was like, oh, I have 1 week left of my vacation, and I don't feel like I vacationed at all. Like, next week I am going to focus on relaxing as much as possible. I am going to do nothing I don't want to do. It's going to be delightful, hopefully. Hopefully I will also be productive and get some stuff done since I'll have some ADHD meds in my system.
That is okay.
Hello, CB. All right.
Did I?
No, I was in hyper focus because Twitch had logged me out again, like they do every flip it. I'm fine. I'm fine. Not fine, but I'll be fine. Anyway, so I had to, do all the things and the other things, and that's
the proper logging in and the things that are involved.
Like, you gotta get it typed right. I'm also in a mood today. because some young thing was like, okay, listen, Embolic is coming up, right? And Charlie and Brian had talked about in their podcast about, having it like a oat fruit crisp. And I was like, oh God, right there. I'm definitely going to do that. And there I was in a Discord forum talking about, people asking like, is anybody doing anything for Embolic? And I'm like, I'm going to make a fruit oat crisp. And then we got to talking about that, and and everybody was talking how much they love crisps and crumbles and cobblers and
yeah.
those. And I said something to the effect of like, you told me that the crisp crumbles, cobblers, brown betties, if they actually predate language, I would absolutely believe you, because it seems like such a comfort food for humans, like such a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then this person who, was like, have you seen this YouTube video from the English Heritage Foundation that says, crumbles, they don't make crumbles on there because it takes place in the Victorian era and those hadn't been invented yet. And then I Googled and the amount of misinformation and disinformation online about the history of crisp, crumbles, cobblers, brown betties, and so on is so glaring, it's gross. I had on the same top page articles from supposedly noteworthy
institutions
talking about how Queen Victoria loved crumbles and how crumbles were not invented till World War II. And I'm like, how does that work? The woman died in 1901. How does that work?
Festus.
And also, I do not like the English Heritage Foundation because they romanticize the Victorian era, and they are borderline English nationalism. Like, I was subscribed to them several years ago, and then Tom and I were watching videos, and we were like, oh, what is this about the English are like the most technologically advanced people? What is this weird? Like, it was cringe, y'all.
Damn.
So
you did in fact hear me out, by the way. It was a Festus.
So yeah, I just had a whole thing. I did explain my whole thing in that Discord, to let them and that. So then we had a whole conversation about disinformation and misinformation. Also, why are people taking a delicious fruit dessert and using it for their national? It's weird, isn't it? Like, why is it like, oh, you're a good fascist if you eat fruit crisp? Y'all, what is going on? Like, why can't we all just enjoy?
Because the facts are made up and nothing matters.
It just, and this was before I had coffee today, so my defenses were not up. And yeah, so I've been in a mood. Not like a bad mood, but just like a little grouchy today.
Yeah.
So, did I in fact post a Facebook post about have you seen that meme?
Yeah, I saw your post today.
Oh,
I was
did?
like, ooh, Glory is in a mood.
Glory's in a mood. Yes, you're right. Because I have since the inauguration, I've had to unfriend one person because, I was genuinely surprised as somebody that both Tom and other people are friends with. I had to unfriend them after, I don't know, 10 years of Facebook friendship Because he posted anti-Semitic stuff.
Oh, wow.
Why now? After all these years? Why now?
Bizarre.
Oh no, Tom. Oh no, Tom.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yep. That is exactly what I was going for.
I hate that this is accurate.
I don't.
I mean, at this point, they're just choosing random words, like random things to fulfill their purpose. Like even the cobbler,
but like,
it's just like
but Megan, don't take the things I love and make them fascist. Like.
Well, the problem is everybody loves them.
Yes,
and
Fruit Crisps are amazing.
So they're like, well, let's make the thing we love the fascist thing too.
I am
and
not
it's
here
like,
for that. I do not like it. I do not condone. It's just gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I didn't even find what the reference I was actually looking for online earlier today, because there is a pre-American Revolution written account of making fruit crisps and cobblers and such, and their popularity actually grew in the colonies. The cobblers specifically, their popularity grew because it was seen as, what is the word I'm looking for? As a revolutionary food. So if you went to a tavern or a pub and you ordered a cobbler, people would then sidle into your booth or next to the
like
table.
Freedom fries? Can I have some freedom fries?
You know, the British Parliament, that kind of vibe. And that is how cobblers became so popular in America, supposedly. And this is like from people's written diaries from the early to mid 1700s in the New England colony area, but eventually it grew all the way down to the Carolinas of,
Yeah.
So it became political. So if you were a Tory, you didn't make cobblers. Instead, you made crisps. And this was like a whole thing. And I was looking for that account and I couldn't find it. And so instead of Discord, I posted the Wikipedia to the Crumble page. And I also talked about I've literally made Middle Ages recipes where the instructions are essentially the same. It just doesn't matter what you call it. You could, back then they called it a fool, or they called it a calfooty, or they just called it a fruit stew with dumplings. But essentially, you make a hot fruit concoction, and then you put some kind of crumble or dough or breadcrumbs or something, or you drop bits of dough in, and then you put the lid on, and then you take it off the direct heat into the indirect heat for an hour or so until y'all are done eating your stew. And then you eat the fruit stew or whatever, that time period is calling it. But I have read translated accounts from Egyptian of essentially the same blessed recipe back when they were building flipping pyramids, y'all.
Yeah, I was like, that was
it's the same thing. In that one, they were using dried fruits because it was out of season, and this is one of the few desserts you can easily make. And again, they were putting toasted grains on top and then letting that bubble and indirect heat. It's the same blessed thing. So, that was literally the point I was trying to make, but I was having trouble finding the links, and I had just woken up and I had not had coffee. And thankfully, everybody in the Discord was very understanding that, hi, and welcome to yet another librarian ticked off about all the misinformation that even they have to go through. And they can only imagine how the rest of y'all are doing, constantly bombarded, and you're not even trained on how to curate information.
I'm menagerie, y'all.
Yeah, I put that cranky little post on my Facebook, Megan. I saw someone's husband on his Facebook was posting about how so did the inauguration, la la la, and how the last 4 years were stolen. And I'm like,
Ugh.
I almost sent her a message about you need to come get your man off the internet. But I know that he's like, I'm powerless. Look, these men. Like, and I had a different person, a former coworker, this same week, who was posting about how this child died from over vaccination. And I had to put a comment on her thing of over vaccination is literally not a thing. Like, you cannot be over vaccinated. But on top of that, healthcare providers would not waste vaccines on a little kid, an infant who doesn't even have enough of an immune system to make good use of the vaccine.
Mhm.
You need to be really careful. This is a former librarian, by the way.
Oof.
Yeah, and like he just took down the post rather than respond to me or correct me, and I was like, y'all, if you're gonna try this stuff in my Facebook feed, you're about to find out that there's a reason I'm not just a librarian. I also have a nickname as the babysitter. Like, this is Miss Fink's enough face. Memorize it and avoid it. That's what I used to tell my 5th graders.
So, yes, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? No, the day before yesterday. I wrote so much. I wrote 2,000 words in one project, 700 words in another project, and then 400 words in a third project. And then I also wrote in my diary. So I was like,
Megan,
on a roll.
Damn.
Look at you, girl.
Unfortunately, nothing yet I can publish, but we're getting there. We're getting closer. It's just
Megan,
gonna
let's
take a while.
celebrate the wins we get,
Yes.
and we'll worry about the future when we get there.
True.
You're doing great. That's great. I'll tell you. So
Today, though, I did noting because I don't know why I'm on the ADHD meds, but I was like so tired. I was like, what?
I will say, like, we were talking about before about like how I've set up this whole 4 days a week, 4 hours each day. Mm-hmm. If I write, I can stop writing after 500 words.
Yeah.
Which I realize to many people that would sound like it's too little. But it's more of, if I'm sitting down to write, I can get up after 500 words. But like, let's say it's only 300 words. No, I'm surely I can like push out 200 more words. But oftentimes I go over the 500 words. It's just my mind of like what I have to tell myself so that I don't avoid it, because the ADHD and the perfectionism together, blah blah blah. But yeah, I do try every day out of the 4 days to sit down and write at least the 500 words, and that's how I've been putting out more, without it feeling oppressive or me procrastinating like for a whole day. Like, if I procrastinate for an hour and instead promote, that's no big deal. But procrastinate a whole day and like the second day I still haven't written, that is what I'm trying to avoid by saying it's just 500 words. Just belt out the worst 500 words and we can delete it all tomorrow. But just write 500 words, so that it's like this low barrier.
Hi, Charlie.
Hello.
I haven't seen you in a while.
So yeah, that's what I've been telling myself, and that's how I've been getting around my own perfectionism.
Yeah. I have made myself the same goal of writing 500 words a day. And I've started doing what you said, and I count my journal writing too. So every day I have been writing about 500 words, if maybe 100 words less or so. But for the most part, it's there. It's just not the words I want to be writing.
The words still count because it's like you're kind of toning up a muscle.
Yeah.
So they do still count.
Yeah. And I'm counting them. It's just
No words start out publishable.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that. But a lot of the stuff I'm writing, like the 2,000 word project, is definitely a personal project that's not ever going to be shared publicly anywhere. So it's like, I don't know. Like, for me, I write because I like getting people's reactions to my writing.
Yes.
I also write because I enjoy writing for the sake of writing, but there's a large part of me that writes solely because I want the feedback. I want to know, like, if I annoy people, I want to know. If I, like, I don't care what the reaction is. I just want a reaction. I need the attention. I know this about myself. So I haven't been able, because I haven't been writing anything to put out into the world yet. Well, I have been. It's just not finished yet. It's frustrating because I need that feedback.
Really?
They agree with me. They're like, yeah, we totally get it.
I mean,
they really do actually like you guys, by the way.
Yeah. I too love the feedback, Megan. Like, I admit, and that's partly why, like, I am focusing more on promotion of getting more readers, because it's like, I just need the readers. I need the validation of anybody reading this. And like, of course, the ultimate goal is for a reader to say, I cannot get your characters out of my head. It's like, yes, finally. They are haunting other people, not just me. Learning how to write fiction was worth it. What?
I love that is your goal versus like my goal is like I want somebody to feel so strongly about it they write a fanfic about it. Even like a short one, I don't care. Like my goal is I want somebody to feel so strongly about something.
Yeah.
I want to make you feel something. I don't care what.
Right.
You can despise it and like do a hate fanfic. I don't care.
Yes. I'm not opposed to somebody hate reading me. Like, go for it.
Really?
Yes. Tom and I did comment, why are the piggies so quiet? Yes, Charlie, I feel the same way. Shocked when anybody reads it. CB also wants I get it. I too. Like, I don't care if you love it or hate it. I just want to hear about it. But yeah, and that's my theory is like, okay, I just need, like, if I had, like, okay, so I will share with you my goals. Okay. Right now, I'm at like a little over 70 subscribers. And my immediate goal is 100 subscribers. But my big goal is 5,000 subscribers. Because I feel like if I had 5,000 people that my stories were delivered to, I might get some feedback. Like, somebody might say, your characters keep talking to me in my head while I commute to work, and like, yes, thank you. Now they're not just haunting me. Wow. Or that somebody's like, I wrote a fanfic, don't hate me, here it is. Like, yes. Or maybe they don't give me the link and I have to set my friends to go, like, help me, like, find where is the fanfic. Let's all read it together. How wonderful or terrible or both is it? Let's find out. But like, I wouldn't put a strike against it because, like, it's fanfic, unless of course that there was something serious, like, you know, like something real cringe, you know, illegally cringe. You know what I'm saying, like that. Yeah. And mostly I would just worry about underage people. But like, as far as just like writing fanfic and like, no, let's have like Bob the Angel totally get with Snape. Yeah, okay, live your life. Those are both adult characters. Go for it. Whatever. I bet that's hilarious. I can't wait to read the dialogue on that.
Really banishes your angels on a regular basis. If that helps.
And I am that frog. Okay. So
Random thing, when Hephaestus went that way, he kept his tail low, so you could see his
can't see
tail.
me as a snake.
He really does. Like, he's like, no, they don't need to know I'm going by. And he just curls his tail down. And sometimes he just leaves it up, so he doesn't care if you see him.
Like, he's like, you can just see, I'm not up to anything. Look at me. You knew my whereabouts. I'm fine. But yeah, like that is my goal, is I guess to like share these characters in my head with the outside world so that I can hear other people's opinions about them.
Yeah.
Like
for me, I just want to hear like, your writing moved me. I don't care how it moved the person. I just need to hear it. I need someone to read everything that I write and just go like ooh and ah over it. Like or be like, that was terrible. What are you talking about? And criticize. I don't even care about that. I just need a reaction. Like,
yeah.
The Bobs don't get along.
Oh, wait. There are so many more members of this family. What is it? Like Azirif? Is it Zirif? No, that's Azazel. Azazel is, I think it's Azazel who's teaching classes at a Holiday Inn Express. Like, about how to be a Mac. Yeah, wait till we meet more of the angels, because like there's a bunch of them. Well, I mean, like, we all have to learn how to take compliments, which we only get through repeated exposure. I don't know.
I prefer my compliments to come in written form, so that way I can analyze them.
You know what? Fair!
And like read them over and over and over again, and then
no. Damn it, Hope. You cannot have a fruit snack. That the child apparently dropped.
Oh, good. I think that's a good idea, CB.
Yeah.
Release Stark for president. I think that's a good idea.
I think that'll help it get eyeballs.
Yeah, because what I have noticed about Substack is they are better at the Substacks being populated or reached by Google.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you'll pick up more readers. Because, like, CB, look, I'm just going to say it. I've said to Tom several times of, like, what is this nonsense? Like, when will the comic books be hiring CB? Who is so much better at the thing that comic books, like, readers are really for, which is drama. At last, drama. So, because, like, seriously, a bunch of the comic stuff's gotten real boring. There, I said it. I said what I said. So, well, anyway.
Oh, dear Charlie.
Yes, I am here for this. Shall we go ahead and do our first pretty sprint?
Sure.
Don't be surprised, Glory, if I randomly start sending you images of things for your approval.
Okay.
That may or may not be Trouble with Angels or Fillmore merch ideas to go on Coffee Bunny.
Absolutely. Works for me. And again, I would like to remind people that what we are doing now for Coffee Bunny is we do a 45-minute sprint for our first sprint and then a 30-minute sprint for our second sprint. So nobody freak out. And just know that with the first sprint, you definitely have puttering time. So there we go. Good luck, everybody. We'll see y'all on the flip side.
Beep, 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 beep.
Give me a sec. All right. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't make enough promises. I don't know. That. There. La la. So, yeah, I lost track of time. Surprise! We're all surprised right now because I was putting in.
That was me.
Is that me? No. God. Oh, okay. ADHD.
It's spreading.
Oh, be careful.
Okay. I took a shower, so I had the stream up on YouTube on my phone while I was in the bathroom. Because I was like, it's a 45-minute sprint. I can go take it as long as a shower as I want.
Right, yeah.
I try to take a long shower, guys, and it's like 15 minutes. That is my version of a long shower.
I'm the same way.
Unless I don't feel well, and then I just stand there. And I was like, oh, I have to actually wash my hair, don't I? And then I like put soap in my hair, and then I just stand there.
Girl, let me tell you something. Your life will change if you just get a shower stool. So you can sit there instead of stand there. And be like, I'll just let the water run over them. It's fine. It's cleansing.
But then I also did a face.
Ooh,
excellent. Nice. I contemplated doing one, but that would require getting up from where I am, and that I'm too cozy.
That's fair.
Yes. I was okay. Let's see. What did I do? I did a bunch of things. I edited a poem. Nice. And set it up to go out not this Monday, but next Monday, because I already have this Monday set up. So, yeah, that's a relief. And then I lost track of time putting in the tracking number for Peanuts package and sending that info to Carrie as well. And also, like, setting up so I'll get email and text notifications as it travels. So, cool. So, yes. And then I also contemplated, like, am I going to need to write a love poem so I have enough to get to Valentine's Day? I know, but I just, let me just be my waffly little self or go, are these really love poems?
You do you.
Yes, this is like
the process.
Yes, thank you. It's the process as I really go, is this a love poem or is this a like because like the last love poem I have that is just definitely just about love. It's so goofy, y'all. It's so goofy. I like just
happy divorce.
Have you read most love poems? Like
No, it's like this is the one I believe that Tom called Dick Dick Dick. It's so goofy. Like, it's goofy.
That's funny.
And yeah. I mean, I guess now that I've said it, I have to publish it so you can all like laugh at me together. And go, it was good, huh? It was real good back then? Like, yeah, baby.
Get out of the trash bag!
I was feeling very romantic and also a little, what was it? Neo-pseudo-renaissance-y? Yeah.
Now you definitely have to publish it. Like, I need to read this.
Let me tell you. So every one of the love poems, I know for a fact, I wrote these at work while I was doing customer service at Cellular One.
Don't look at me like that.
I'd write them on little notepads while waiting for the next customer call to come through. And this is also the same time period where, because of the nature of our desk and cubicles, my manager and assistant manager could see anytime I got up to go to the bathroom and logged out. And they set up the manager and the assistant manager, set up a system of anytime one of them noticed that I'd logged my phone out, so I could go to the bathroom or go down to the break room to get it. They would alert each other, and whichever one of the two ladies was available would immediately go to my desk, lift my keyboard to call the other one on the phone to read the love poem to each other.
Like that is.
And then sneak back out before I'd come back. So, like, no, she's coming, because they could also see all the CC cameras. Because it was a two-story building.
That's like ridiculously creepy. On the other hand, that's very flattering. Like, thank you.
Right? Okay, that's exactly how I felt at 19. Like, this is both super creepy. These two middle-aged women doing this. They're both married with multiple kids. Doing this like on a daily basis, but also it's kind of cute. And like when I finally, like, one of my coworkers was like, "You need to know they're doing this," and they keep calling each other, reading your poetry to each other on the phone, and then sneaking away before you come back. And she's like, "I can't stand it anymore. You have to know." And I'm like, "Oh." And then when I asked the manager, like, "Are you doing this?" Like, my coworker said, one of my coworkers, who shall remain nameless, said it, but like, what's going on? And she's like, "Yes, we're busted. We do it." And I'm like, "Why? So you can make fun of me?" Again, I want to point out I was 19. She's like, "No, we would never. We like them, but we know you're real private about them, but we also love them." And I'm like, "How do you even know about him?" She's like, "Okay, well, like 2 months ago, you left one out by your phone, and we got really busy. And the assistant manager went to your desk to call in while you were at lunch, and that's when she saw it. And so then we've been reading them to each other." And she's like, we don't want you to be mad. Like, but we know you're real private, And I was just like, okay. But I mean, I was really shy back then. Like, and this was my first real romantic relationship. And yeah, I was really shy. And yeah, they were two middle-aged ladies who's like, they both were like, "We didn't mean to make you feel bad. It's just, it's been so long since we had our first love. And it reminds us of our first love,
Creepy.
So, yeah. Yes, exactly.
Have a good sleep, CB.
Night.
Good night. So yeah, that's like this one. This is the cringiest of the ones I wrote when I was 19 at work.
I mean, but did you read the poem that I suggested? Because that one,
yes,
is also on that level, I think.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
it's kind of excessive. Like, it's like, dude, chill.
Okay, I did have a similar thought when I read it.
It's one of my favorite love poems. Like, I love it so much, but I can recognize that, dude, chill.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Of like pretty much most love poems are kind of cringe.
They are, all of them,
and,
every single one.
And like, but like, are they love poems if they're not a little? I see what you're saying about they're goofy, like by their nature.
Yeah, they have to be, like, even when you're trying to be sincere, like.
Yes. Yeah, this poem. This will be the one that'll come out then, like the Monday before Valentine's Day. And yes, this is the one that Tom has been dragging me for like every time he pulls this one out because it's kind of short, and he's like, "Oh, the dick poem," like, and I'm like, "Oh no, stop it." All right. So you've convinced me. Thank you. I guess. Thank you. Maybe.
You're welcome.
We'll see how much ridicule I get.
It's like that's the one that goes viral.
No. Oh, speaking of viral though, Kat, as my poetry publishing manager, I do have an article for you if you are interested to read about the last 10 years of the kind of poetry that has gone viral.
Mm-hmm.
And it is an interesting analysis of it. And I almost sent it to you, and then I was like, maybe Kat doesn't give 2 Fs, you know.
Send it to me too, because I'm curious just for
Okay. Yeah, it's essentially more of like about marketing and promotion.
That is why
and
I am
what
interested.
about these poems? Yes, that's why I was like, but it really gave me some food for thought, honestly. And then I started noticing it, like on Facebook in these poetry groups I had joined. And then, of course, then Facebook's like, here, do you want more poetry? We could just put it in your feed. And I started noticing what I had read in this analysis article. So I'll send it to both of y'all. And then, of course, I would love to hear your thoughts later if you ever want to share any.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of thoughts to share with you, I did watch the Judy Lynn Del Rey video because I do not recognize myself in anything in any way, shape, or form unless it has been drilled into my head. I did not see it. But very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I did very much enjoy it.
Well, what I saw in you in this, do you know what I'm talking about, Megan? The little PBS, little 8 or 9 minute documentary thing on YouTube?
I did put it in the voice chat when we were on Discord one day.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, you were.
I'll
find
it again and send.
Yeah. I am in recovery still. Like, I am so far. Do you know how many videos Spence has sent me that I have yet to watch? And all of them are like over 30 minutes, and I'm like, I'm never gonna catch up.
I think Spence understands.
Oh yeah, no, I get that, but at the same time, I'm just like, I want to be able to comment on the things, but brain no brain.
Brains not be braining.
Fair. That is very fair. But yeah, so Judy Del Rey was a publisher, and she essentially, I'm not going to say she single-handedly, was the impetus for the silver age of sci-fi and fantasy, but maybe I'm low-key.
Oh no, the video basically says that.
Oh, okay. I just don't remember.
It's like specifically in literature that she did it.
Yes, in
literature. She's like the godmother of sci-fi.
And fantasy. Like, she also was like the one who was publishing a bunch of the I can't remember, Tom or Charlie or Brian might even remember. Was it Dragonlance? She had a lot to do with a lot of young writers, and let us be honest, middle-aged and even older writers who had never really broken through. She had a lot to do with getting them out on a national level, being seen by readers who are thirsty for their work. And so she optioned George Lucas for the Star Trek movie book, the book adaptation, before it even came out.
She was the one who chose the Star Wars ones.
Cool.
She like in the video, they meant they're like the big owner of whatever, or the head of the company or whatever. She went in and she was like, "We're gonna make millions," and they did.
She was not wrong.
Also, most people apparently think of Del Rey Books is actually Judy Lynn's imprint. But most people attribute it to Lester Del Rey her husband, because he was also I believe he himself might have been. Yeah, he was a writer.
He did like
art as well. So like most people believe like the Del Rey books is because of him.
Gotcha.
But it was her.
Interesting.
Okay, I sent Megan the link. Okay.
Yeah, it was a short video, but it was great.
So anyway, Kat, what I saw similar to what you reminded me of about the Judy Del Rey little short documentary, and I wish they would make a longer one. I honestly, anyway. But it was the part where they talk about that she was such a super fan, but she saw that, and also I think I watched someone else's someone, let's be honest, it was probably just a white man talking about Judy Lynn Del Rey, but some of his research about it and how she was such a super fan, but she saw, because she went to the sci-fi and fantasy conventions, that these writers were struggling, and they were like literally just printing out their manuscripts and like selling them or giving them away at these conventions. And that was what was part of her impetus of like, at first she was trying to help them like be an agent and help them get published. And then she's like, I'm just going to start my own imprint. I've had enough. And I just thought of you. Like, that's what you reminded me of. And
I'm going to publish your poetry.
You are giving me such strong Del Rey energy. And I love it. And I'm here for it. And I hope that one day I can like say, I was there. Because that was why I said that, and that's what. And when I had mentioned it, Kat's like, I don't know who you're talking about, and that's what was like. I went and found that, and like, yes, I've already forced Tom to watch it, and like, because I just think it's just the coolest dang thing. Will I now? I'm just gonna post the link. I'm just there. It's in all the chats. There's the link. Haha. I have power. Let us all.
She was
speak her name in tones of respect.
She was the managing editor of the Galaxy magazine. And then she moved to Ballantine Books and revitalized the publisher.
That's it. So, like, and to be perfectly honest, after I watched that little brief documentary, I thought about it and realized, partly because they mentioned the titles, and also said I watched someone else's video talking about her, and they also mentioned other titles that she was personally responsible for, like she also edited. And I realized that she is actually the reason that Little Glory, after she learned to read, was like, I want to grow up and write stories and have them published. It was mostly Del Rey books that I was reading, these used copies of paperbacks in particular that I was getting. It was mostly Del Rey books, and I thought it was the whole publishing world, and little did I know it was mostly just one woman who was spearheading this. And so, when she passed away, it did dwindle, unfortunately. And then, of course, that whole, with all the publishers eating each other because of the American tax code changing. But, but when I was back in the previous century, when I was but a wee one, that is the reason I wanted to read books. That is the reason I wanted to then write books, and why my mother started helping me learn how to world build was because of these Del Rey books that I just became obsessed with. As well as, to a lesser degree, in the 90s, the Tor books also were freaking awesome. Like, I was absolutely smitten with the Stainless Steel Rat first 3 titles omnibus. I was absolutely smitten with that series by Harry Harrison.
They are the ones who published Charlie Jane Anders' book. What was it? All the Birds in the Sky or something like that? Anyways, really good book. Like 5 out of 5 stars. It's a fantasy sci-fi combo book. It's so good.
Yeah. And like, let's be honest, like they talk about in the documentary, Del Rey Books was like responsible for so many writers, like actually being able to make a living and going full time. And it essentially practically birthed the whole science fiction and fantasy television in the 80s and 90s because of Del Rey Books' popularity. Like, it made multiple industries.
Awesome.
Or revitalized them. Like, but it definitely, I realized, like, this woman, nobody mentions her name, and she has influenced so much of my own personal life. And so but yeah, that Kat reminded me when Kat was like, this is the year we're going to publish your poem book. Like, okay. Sure. I got nothing else. I got no reason to say no. And like, that was the vibe I was getting from Kat, was like a very much a Judy Lynn Del Rey vibe of, this is the year we change the world. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Okay. Of that. And, I mean, I admire that. But yes, let all our friends watch this very short documentary about an amazing woman who also is a disabled woman, or was a disabled woman, and who accomplished so flippin' much.
I'm looking at her Wikipedia page. She was 1943 to 1986.
Yeah.
She was only 43.
Well, back then, in particular, little people did not have.
Well, what happened? She had a
lifespan.
She had a brain hemorrhage.
Yeah.
And she died several months later
because it was difficult to, manage blood pressure.
Yeah.
And we know so much more about managing blood pressure. I mean, like, y'all, my grandma died after 3 strokes over like an 8 or 10 year period. And like, the woman had 2 husbands who left her very financially well off. And she was friends with people who were very financially well off. And she still could not get enough medical care to manage her blood pressure so that she did not have multiple strokes. Like, even her doctors were frustrated with medical science at the time was limited. And they just didn't find things that were really working for her body.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is like, it was the century, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I understand, and it's so unfortunate she died of a brain hemorrhage. Like, boo. I hate it. I would like a do-over. But I'm so glad that she did what she did, and that there were so many people there also supporting her, trying to do this.
Yeah.
She's definitely someone I admire, especially for somebody with, an obvious, like, disability. And she's like, I don't care. Let me stand on this chair and tell you what to do. Like, yeah, man. Because I've since talked to some people in the sci-fi fantasy world, long term. And they had stories about Judy Lynn Del Rey getting on chairs and bossing people around. And
apparently, like, in the video, they mentioned how, like, she walked in a room and it parted.
Yes.
Like, if there was not a path, there was about to be a path.
Right. People were going to make it. Like, yeah. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. I love this. I love everything about this. I also, I love that it's a community that she definitely helped cultivate, where it's very disability friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we still see that effect in those genre communities to this day. And I love it.
Nice.
Like, it's nice that their disability and sci-fi and fantasy still go hand in hand, and that there are still writers writing in these genres who are like, why don't we have characters who don't walk, or who have other challenges, and how they deal with it in their science fiction world or their fantasy world, where we're not saying that these characters are less than, we're saying their world meets their needs. Because if we can't conceive of worlds like that, how can it ever become?
True.
Very true.
Anyhow, shall we do our second little sprinty sprint?
Sure.
All right, let's see. Let's move here. It's eventually I remember how to do things. No promises made. Do. La la la. There we are. Hello. We'll see y'all on the flip side. Beep-a-da-beep. Beep-a-da-beep-a-da. Beep-a-da-beep.
So Hephaestus has learned when 10:30 is.
Oh, yeah.
Because for the last 10 minutes, he's been like, Mom, it's bedtime. Why are you still at the computer?
Right.
Mom. Mom. And he's currently sitting directly in front of my chair, like. I didn't know a cat could make that face, but
oh yeah.
Oh, are you gonna sniff my slippers now while you wait? The irony here is he's gonna like get in the bed with me for like 5 minutes, maybe, and then he's like, "All right, you're still," and then leave.
Yep.
But I have to be in the bed.
Yeah, once you're tucked in.
Yeah.
Then he's like, now I can go about my things. Yeah. Yes, that is how it works, I do believe.
Hi, Sassy.
All right. I wrote 59 words during that sprint.
Nice.
And I also I did a bunch of research because I was like, what are suitable treats and toys for rats? I don't know. And it turns out mulberry is a great chew toy, and I did not know, but I now know. We all know now. Also, I was looking at what are units of lace called, and the internet was not helpful. The internet was like, here's all these different kinds of lace and what they're called. I'm like, no, I want a unit of, what is it? Is it a bolt? Is it a skein? Is it a lace-specific word?
Is it a spool?
Right, like...
Because I think I've heard
or
it.
a bobbin?
I've also heard of it as bolt, but, like, I don't know.
Like... why?
Bernadette Banner, what did she call it? Because I've seen several of her videos, and I remember her buying lace and talking about it.
Yeah.
What did she call it?
Why is the internet not helpful? The internet is definitely not helpful today. Hello
anime.
Right at the end.
But yeah, I just called it a bit of lace. I don't know what else to
I was just writing down all my favorite songs from today, which there were quite a few. Like, and guess who it was? Hoity Toity. Oh my gosh, such a surprise.
Shocked. I'm so shocked. If only.
Did I mention that? So Hoity Toity posted on their Instagram, and I responded to the post, and I was like, "Come to San Diego. I need to see you live. I've been obsessed with," and then I listed like 4 songs, and then I realized I forgot a song, so I responded to that post with responded to that like comment with another comment like, "Oh yeah, and Space Jam," and so they responded back. And they were like, "You have great taste in music." And also, we totally want to play down in San Diego again. Like, we've played down there before, but we haven't done it in a while. So we'll add that to our radar. And I'm like, yes!
Aw, that's sweet.
That's cool.
I am dying to see them live.
Is all of the above, Glory.
Right. Yes.
Their songs just make me dance. Like, it's...
Why is it so weird?
It's inevitable that I dance when their songs come on. I do not know how to dance. Like, I dance like a white person. Like, a stereotypical. Of the most stereotypical.
The lip shuffle?
Yes. Yes. Not intentionally. It just happens.
It just happens.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. I am more of a minuet kind of gal, which Tom likes to take advantage of and make fun of me for. because that's what I dance in my kitchen while I'm waiting for things to cook or whatever, as I minuet a little. Like, again, no shade to, like, I mean, Megan, you make it sound like you do all the white man shuffles that my ex-husband used to do. And it's just imagining it's so cute. Anyway.
I got my dance skills from my dad, and that is horrifying.
There prospect. It is. Yeah, there it is. Yes.
Apparently, my dad can dance, and I can't.
My mother tried. She tried so hard to like get me to be a dancer because she was a dancer. Like she did dance her whole life. Her one of her professors in college wanted her to do it professionally because she was like so good at it, and I did not get that.
Now, once I've done my little minuets, then I progress on to the belly dancing, which is the other thing that I very much enjoy.
I love belly dancing.
And I've been taught belly dancing by quite a few different people from a variety of cultures that have belly dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And they definitely, some of them have focus on different parts of the body.
Yeah.
So I essentially go through my short little carousel. And then if I am still feeling up for it, which is rare, I will then go to my third favorite genre of dancing, which is ballet poses. And that is definitely when Tom comes in going, so here we are, huh? Because he's seen me more than a few times in the last few decades of, doing all the major and the minor, the rarer ballet poses. Because I could do most of them, whereas most ballet dancers struggle with them because I have such an incredibly low center of gravity. And Tom likes to point out, there you are, ballet dancing like the disabled woman that this was all invented for. Because it was this modern ballet stems from this one woman and her father choreographing her, and she had like a hunchback and she had a club foot. I can't remember all this. And modern ballet is actually designed for disabled people.
Wow.
And that's why I actually find the poses easier to do than most like regular bodied.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Random thing, by the way. Yeah. So it depends on the type of lace in which you're speaking of, based on what I've just found. Okay. Because if it is like, if you're buying it and it's like, you can buy it in yards, but it's like the sheets of lace. Yeah. It's a bolt.
Yes. What about the smaller little trim?
They're spools because it's treated like
ribbon.
Okay. That was what I needed to know. Let me go update this for
based on like because I was looking at like I typed in spool of lace and bolt of lace. Like I was looking at what it would pop up and like what was people were listing things for sale type thing that like had fabric and stuff or materials, and since it seems semi-consistent that they're doing the spools for the smaller versions and they're doing bolts for like yardage.
That makes sense. Thank you. I've now updated the story. Appreciate it.
So I feel like going back to hoity-toity, I really feel like I need to learn the Charleston so that I can do the Charleston to their music. I don't know why I feel like it is necessary, but it feels like this is the dance that belongs to this music. I don't know why.
I see that, yeah. Well, there's a bunch of short videos on how to do the Charleston on YouTube.
I have no space in my apartment.
Is that not what kitchens are for? I'm pretty sure that's what kitchens are for.
Oh, well, then I would have to do it in front of Sean, and Sean would make fun of me.
Does he never leave the house, ma'am?
No.
Does he just stop going out to run errands and go to work, and now
just
looking at him all the time?
He hardly ever, and if he does, when he does leave the house, usually to go shopping, he always has to call me on the phone and go through the store aisle by aisle and be like, do we want this? Do we want this? Do we want this? How about this?
Me too.
So dysfunctional, I know.
I'm sure you will find a way. You could always practice it while you're walking the dogs.
True, true. Anime Abraham.
So we have reached the end of our broadcast today.
Yes.
Shall we all say goodnight? One day we'll have an outro.